I might miss you today. I might miss you, but I'm trying to keep you on point. But I'm a little early today. But I had a rough night last night. My blood pressure went up or whatnot. And I got kind of off of my thing. But I laid down and I prayed about it, and I come to find out that I just need a little rest. I need to chill out for a minute. But I'm thankful for another day. Last night I spoke a little bit about rehabilitation and drug addicts and things of that nature. And now I'm finna bring it back to another thing, and it's dealing with correction. And that's what I've been dealing with a lot for the last few years. Get it? Correction, few years. Yeah, 'cause I've been in prison. But the great part about it is that in the correction, I come to find out that in being corrected, if you're not able to be corrected, then God can't work in your life no way. If your physical can't be corrected, if your boss man is saying something that don't make sense and it's stupid, or the leadership and you trying to make understand not what the leadership doing, or you work for a company, or you doing something, and somebody else who's over you has been in that position, or it's something that they want you to do a certain way, and you're not doing it that way because you feel like your way is better. Sometimes, a lot of the times, we have to realize that they may be in that position because they got to that position by doing what they had to do. So to bring it back into my spiritual form, what helps me to understand that in my corrections is warring against preference. When you love something so much and it's your preference, that's what you prefer to do. I would rather not get on live and lay down and do my little time and get out. I would rather do that. I wouldn't really, but I'm saying I could say that. I wouldn't really, but you could say, hey, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm chilling. I could say that and be okay, because I would not even be respecting the fact that I'm being corrected. You understand what I'm saying? So it gives me clarity to understand that when you hold yourself accountable for where your mistake was made, or you're being corrected because your way wasn't working, and you're being corrected, then it shows gratitude first to yourself, because you're able to push self down and say, okay, let me see if this way works. And even if it doesn't work, work with that way to see what clarity you can get from it, because see, that's how God instills something in you. Because if you can't be corrected, then it's hard to even find the truth. Check this out. You know that in breaking a horse is wild. And when the horse is being broken, it had to take a bit in its mouth, and it had to be tamed. It has to be brought down into submission so it's able to complete the task that it has to do. It's able to take you wherever you need to go, or run around the barrels, or things of that nature. You have to be tamed in a way where it's God-driven, faith-approved, and you're consistently needing the will of God. So when Christ does something in you, it changes the whole aspect, because see, you're not just listening. The flesh ain't the one that's just wide open anymore, because the spirit man deep down inside is receiving its correction, and it's like, okay, so if I'm understanding that whatever my boss is saying, it may not make sense to me, but I'm gonna just try it this time. By you even doing that in the flesh, the spirit man grows, because the spirit man understands, or the woman understands then that, okay, I did have a choice in the matter to do what I want to do, or to listen. Now, it may not work out what they're saying, but in your spirit, you have just overcame a part where you died to self for one moment and actually decided to listen to what the next individual was saying. So your preference, when you die to preference, when you warn against preference, your conviction comes because you like doing this. I like smoking cigarettes. I like getting drunk every weekend, because I work next week, I go back to work, boom, I'm right back at it. But I just drunk a little bit of alcohol. I just did a little bit of that because but my preference is to make sure every weekend I get straight. And when you're warned against that, because I say this because we're approaching another year, and a lot of people They come up, they say, hey, Charles, listen, man. Hey, fat, hey, you think that for the new year I knew that? And I'm thinking in my mind, we already know. A friend of mine hit me last night and she said sometimes, she said something that you already dealing with and you already know the issue. So why wait? I'm just saying for me, why should I have to wait to January the 1st to Thursday and continue in what I know that I'm about to flip over? Hold on now, I'm just saying, why should I wait till the 1st of January, a new year, to start my correcting when if I know what I'm dealing with right now and I know what my issue is right now? Why should I wait until the 1st? Why can't I start today? And then when the 1st comes, it's already done. It's automatic. Matter of fact, if you start today, then you got a 5-day head start. So when the new year comes, your year already begun because you prepping. The most important thing about everything you do is the preparation it takes to get to it. Before you cook a great meal, you prepare stuff and you get everything down and you put it all together. And you got all the food prepared before you feed the meal. You put the plates out. You know what kind of seasoning you got. You done thawed the meat out. All the preparation it takes for that great meal, you know that it had to take a submission to get everything and prep everything to get to where it needs to be. The greatness about this is the fact that correction is grace. Your correction is grace because if you're being corrected, you're being held back because you might be going into something that could destroy you for the rest of your life. It can destroy you for the changing of your life. And the grace has held you back and covered you and blessed you anytime. I wish, hey man, I'm gonna call Sylvia. But I just want to read a couple of verses because I want to, the reason why I was speaking about this is because for the simple fact that he who keeps instruction and is in the way of life is in the way of life. If you maintain instruction, you're in the way of life. But if you refuse any kind of correction, then you'll go astray. You'll go astray. And in typical situations, there's an outline, there is direction of something because it was done before you. It's no new thing that you're doing. It's not a new thing that you've come up with, whereas, oh, this is a new thing and this is the way you got to do it. It's not a new thing. Things better, they get better as being corrected. It's being corrected. So whatever you're working on, whatever it may be, let that thing you're working on stand correction. Let correction be in the way. So that might make sense because I learned the hard way. I bust my head every time, and I'm tired of bumping my head. I'm tired of getting for 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 18 month, 6 month, 4 month. I don't want that correction no more. That ain't the correction I'm trying to get. I'm gonna just go and listen. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go and listen because it's a really, really small percentage of people. Now, we say that the laws are pretty twisted because they are messed up. And they are kind of, but if we just decide one day to not listen to the world and choose family, life, love, grace, the great things in life, it's no law against that. So we may not get jammed up. I heard people say, I wasn't doing nothing. I just did a little smoke, a little drink every weekend. And then one weekend, that's all it took. Because that's how the devil works. He lets you continue in whatever you feel or whatever you're doing. The devil don't mind you going out there. When you out there doing what you want to do, you in his grace a little bit because, you go to church on Sunday or you get a little blessing on here and you read your word every now and then. But that ain't affecting him because, you ain't practicing correction. You ain't practicing stopping doing what you know you shouldn't be doing. You ain't practicing that. You doing whatever you prefer. So while you in your preference game, it's not a bother to you. So it's not bothering the devil. But when you continue to try to change that and be good and try to edify somebody, when you're trying to educate somebody on something like that, then it changes. It changes and switches everything over. So then the devil considers you the enemy then because, you're not on his team. You're working with the other side. And that's when he try to pull away from you. You understand where I'm coming from? So you in glorious company, man, when you are trying to withstand the correction. When you pushing for the correction, when the correction is in your life and things are being corrected in your life and you're okay with it because you understand. Another verse, this is a great verse. This is Hebrews 12:11. Hebrews 12:11 is so powerful. Hebrews is such a great chapter. Toward the end of the Bible, it's such a great, it's food there. But it says, now, no chastening seems to be joyful for the present, but painful nevertheless. When you being chastised, you going and you know you've been in the wrong, you being corrected. At that time, it sucks. It's bad. It don't make sense. It's hurtful. It's painful. It's joyless. It says, for the present, it's painful. Nevertheless, afterward, it yields peaceable fruit. You understand what I'm saying? It yields peace. Them things what you feel like tearing you down or keeping you strong, those relationships what you was in, or the people who you were dealing with, they're taking away from you and they destroying you, and you still finding a way to keep moving and keep pushing, and then you elevating, and you get to a point and you like, man, look here, man. I heard people say it's lonely at the top. It ain't lonely at the top, because once you run into the other people who have elevated like that, when y'all get together, y'all got to go back down and pull the people who ain't elevated so they can see how you done. They have to see the movement that you made to get where you come from, and then that's where the stewardship comes in and the discipleship comes in, and that's how the body of Christ works. Because you went through this to get to this point, and now you're at this point. You're stable enough to reach back down and say, okay, listen, now I went through that, so let's do this. And what it does, it yields peaceable fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. When you get trained by something, and your training, you get better and better. And then when you look back and you think, shoot, when I first started this, it was pretty difficult. But next thing you know, you're training somebody. And when you train somebody, you have to explain to them the mistakes you made, because you made them so they won't make them. Huh? You understand what I'm saying? I don't know what position you're in at your job, or what you doing, like when you're teaching your kids something, you know that you've been through it, and you're chasing them, and they don't make sense to them, and they upset. Let them be upset. But don't let them get away with it. Let them be upset, because you have to be strong-willed. And when you're training your children up and training people, you have to be strong-willed to help them understand that this is a better way. This is a right way. This is the way. So continue to work on your being obedient to your correction. When somebody's trying to tell you something, it might not even be right, but just listen, hear it out. Because somewhere in that part, it might be something that you didn't do. You know what I'm saying? So continue to stay obedient in what you got and what's going. I had to pop in right quick because it was on my heart, man. I still think I'm coming back at 7 o'clock. But I should. But I just wanted to say that because, man, correction, when you warn against your preference, man, it can abide in your mind, and it'll tear you apart and it'll split you, and you'll get kind of thrown off. So just lean into what Christ has for you, man. Thank God for another day. Bless again. Abundance full in your life. Pray you lift it up out of the horrible marshy clay and all the evil, wicked things that the devil has thrown against you, that you fight them things off and push through that, man. And get up through that, man. Please, man, lift your head, man. Thank God for another wonderful day, because he is the only one who is over the glory, man. With that being said, man, I just really, I'm proud that you guys even tuned in for a second. With that being said, you're welcome.